Okay, so now I have the information about the After Effects group that I was going to mention before. It's the first After Effects New York City users group meeting, and it is on February 22nd, which is Thursday, right? Thursday, room 213 at the Pratt Institute, which is 14th and 7th Avenue, 6:30 to 9 p.m. Cody, could you just stand up? Where's Cody? He's all the way in the back there, waving his hand. So that's the man to talk to if you want these.
I didn't mention the prizes.
Oh, and there's prizes. Thousands of dollars worth of prizes. Awesome. Great way to one up my event. Okay, well, so I'm actually the next presenter, so the introduction is going to be quick. And I assure you there was absolutely no nepotism involved in my selection as a presenter. You know, we submitted our game just like everyone else. I chose it, and here we are. So, Brandon's going to be my lovely assistant. So this is Brandon. So, and I also didn't realize that the boys from Powerhead were going to be presenting a photography game, so this is a bit of a theme happening tonight. And these are not my presentation notes. All right, I might be winging it. Okay, so I thought that what I would do is, I like the way that the guys from Game Lab showed some of the earlier prototype screens. I thought that what I would do is actually start by showing the prototype that we created for this game and presented to some publishing partners at a GDC about, well, almost a year ago. So the idea for this game came out of, we create games for the casual market, and we're very interested in creating games specifically that will find new players. So people who haven't played lots of games and aren't necessarily familiar with game conventions or don't think of themselves as a gamer. We really want to find those new audiences as well as appeal to people who are gamers. So I was digging around the internet and doing research on kind of what popular hobbies are and trying to find new fodder for game concepts. And so one of the things that kept coming up when I was searching for popular hobbies was birdwatching. And so we started talking about how to make a birdwatching game, and so this is the prototype for that game. We realized early on that to really make the experience of spotting a bird satisfying, you need a discrete event, and so it quickly became a bird photography game. So this is the prototype from a year ago. I think we spent, a couple weeks on this. I don't think there's any zooming. One of the things you will see in here that's kind of funny is that it did not make it into the final game is the idea of birds mating. So, actually, is there audio in here? So yes, there's actually like some conga music that plays when that happens, but I'll sort out the audio when I switch to the real game. So anyway, I just wanted to show this first because the game has actually come a long way from this. So we showed that game to a number of publishers. A few of the publishers just thought we were crazy, and kind of like gave us polite nods or something. But then we did find one publisher, iWin, who thought it was fantastic and thought that there was, it would find a market within the casual space. Specifically, I think that they liked the idea. The mechanic is bone simple. It really is literally just pointing and clicking, and within the casual market in particular, it's very important that there is just that very simple mechanic. So let me fire up. Just make sure I have some audio here. Okay, so one interesting thing to mention is that that initial prototype of the game was called, the working title was Snapshot Safari, and we must have gone through just hours and hours of brainstorming to come up with the final name for the game. And of course we came back to Snapshot. So the full name of the game is Snapshot Adventures: Secret of Bird Island. There is we can just start playing as I'm talking, but there is a kind of mystery story in the game where you are good? Okay. So there's a kind of mystery story in the game where you have your grandfather has disappeared. He was involved in some sort of mysterious plane crash, and basically has been given up for dead. And you're cleaning out the house, and you find this shoebox that he left for you that has a camera. It has his old bird field guide, and it has a map of the U.S. with a number of cities marked on it, and some names and addresses. So throughout the game, you are following this map, visiting all these cities, and at each city you're meeting up with one of your grandfather's old friends or colleagues, who are all the editors of various birding publications. So basically what happens is, as you're going through, they are assigning you challenges. They're sending you out to the field and asking you to get pictures of a particular bird, asking you to get photos of a certain value, birds flying, birds performing some sort of action. So, and then when you come back to them, they kind of talk to you about your grandfather and kind of give you clues as to of his life and what he was all about and where he's ended up and so on and so forth. So, all of the bird song you're hearing is the actual bird song for that particular species. I don't know if you can really tell, but it's all positionally located. So we worked with, or are working with the Cornell Lab of Ornithology, and they're kind of the premier source for bird song audio and actually lots of kind of nature audio. And they're also helping to make sure that we have 100 bird species, 100 real bird species in the game, and they're helping us to make sure that all those field marks are accurate, given the aesthetic of the game. So that's been a great partnership. What's that?
Good shot.
Yeah. So as you're moving through the world and satisfying these different challenges, these characters are giving you special items. So you can see that at the bottom there's this toolbar of items. I'll come back to that, but this is the photo evaluation screen. So this is probably, one thing you'll notice is that the mechanic has not really changed that much from that initial prototype. I mean, the mechanic has pretty much stayed the same, but the things that we really have spent a lot of time iterating on and are still iterating on is this photo evaluation part of the gameplay. So what you're doing here is your field guide, you're basically, as you get pictures of these 100 bird species, you are populating this field guide.